Well, President Trump had some governors and electricity companies join a voluntary pledge. It's to protect U.S. consumers from rising utility bills from data centers.
And this morning, we now know that Governor Lee has signed that pledge. WSMV's Sydney Whitty is live with the latest outside the Capitol. Sydney, good morning to you.
Good morning. So we know that the Republican Association of Governors says that Governor Lee is on the list of 23 Republican governors who are in support of the president's pledge. We also know that it was first introduced back in March. Now, President Trump claims that the pledge will lower family electricity bills using surplus power and self-generation to feed the grid, but it's not clear whether that will offset the increase in demand. It also has about 200 stakeholders as well. The pledge reads that the American people should not be footing the bill for the benefit of private companies. Instead, the data center boom should be leveraged to address affordability and benefit all American households and businesses. Now, the pledge is non-binding, so whether or not consumer bills will go up does depend on whether companies and what they do next. In downtown, Sydney Whitty, WSMV4.
All right, Sydney, with the latest this morning. Thank you. The TVA has just signed off on a new federal initiative. It's aimed at preventing data center usage costs from being placed on consumers. So the TVA is saying it's working on reviewing its rates for large power users and will propose those changes coming up in August.